Okay, team. So on this video, I'm going to show how to set up and how to use the Stats database. So here's the actual PowerPoint. I'm going to go through it, and then I'm actually go through how to work the actual database and how to set up your folder and all that good stuff. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to set up the dates. So these dates are going to play a big role in the actual database. So there's two reasons why these dates have to be precise and they're important. The first reason is based on these dates is what is going to be counting for credit for your actual stats. And then the second reason is because I'm also going to create your glide path based on these dates. So you can see on the PowerPoint where I'm using what dates to create what and why I'm using those dates. You can change these dates, and once you change the dates, the database will adjust and work based on these dates. So in here, this is how you create your folder. So you will start at the actual hard drive of the computer, go to user, public document. Then you're going to create a new folder. You're going to name it My Ops. And once you have your folder create My Ops, you're going to create new, and you're going to create two text documents. And those text documents are going to be called ReadUp and EXT for extension. So if you remember, or if you ever used my actual database before called My Data Report Database, I have a folder here as an example, so you can see that that we're no longer going to be using this folder for this database. So what I'm doing is making the database smaller and use it for what we need to use, and it's going to be running way much faster. So you're going to see how it works and how it's running so much smoother, because I'm not making one big database to create so much thing and stressing the database. All right, so once we create the folder, then we're going to go to retain, and we're going to pull the extension ad hoc. So how do you do it? You go to user support, report, and click on extension ad hoc. Once you go to extension ad hoc, you're going to make sure that you're having the confirm. You select the dates that you're pulling. So for this example, I'm using October 1st, 2018 to July 7th of 2019. Then I'm selecting all the extensions because, and I'll show you why I select all the extensions, because based on the extension codes is what the database is going to use to create the stats. How do you select all of them? Start by checking the first one, hold the shift button on the keyboard, and you select the last one, and then it's going to highlight all of them in blue. For my battalion career counselors, make sure you select your LOCIT under this tab. I'm using this example as if I was a senior. So senior career counselors will use their roll-up LOCIT, and now I'm going to pull the whole brigade. And the last thing you got to do is select the data that is needed. So you only need this data right here, and it has to be in this order. If it's not in this order, the database will not work because it needs to be in this specific order. So another advice that I'm going to give is to make sure that give it a report, like a report name. So for my extensions, I call it my EXT. My extensions, I put the report name and I click save. Based on this information you have in here, it's going to save this this report under this name. So whenever you're going to do another pull tomorrow or next week, all you got to do is change the date, and then you just click search, and then it's going to automatically be saved under this information. Once you have that saved, you click on search, and then you're going to save as text, and then you click save as. So since we already have the text file saved, or correction, the text document, all we're going to do is we're going to click as save as. You're going to select that text document because this is an extension, if you see here. So we're going to click on the extension document, and we just click save. So it's going to tell you, do you want to replace this? And you just click yes, because you want to replace it. Now to pull the re-enlistment data, you go to user support, reports, re-enlistment ad hoc, then make sure it's the confirm, select the dates, all re-enlistments. I'm using this example as if I was a senior, so I'm selecting my roll-up LOCIT. For my battalion career counselors, make sure you use the battalion LOCIT, your actual LOCIT. Make sure, once again, you select this data, which is, I need only this data, and it's going to give you the actual credit on the actual database. If it's not in this order, once again, it's not going to work. And lastly, I would tell you to save the report name. As here, I have an example that I saved my report. I haven't saved under my stats. So you're going to save it once again as text, save as. Make sure you when you get the little button or correction, little notification at the bottom of the computer, just select the drop down, save as, and now you're going to click under re-up text. You just click save. Just click it, and then it's going to automatically save it. Which after you select, you want to replace it, and just select yes. And you can see the folder here that is actually under my ops folder, and I'll show you an example after I go over the whole PowerPoint. Here's a legend. If you click UIC, it's going to give you all the UICs, the extension code. I'll go over on the actual database. Re-up and extension is where the data is going to be, and these are the three different stats that I'm going to give you. The battalion for the battalion career counselor, and these two are for the seniors. So here you're going to put your UIC and then the extension codes. On the extension codes, make sure you select the appropriate extension code. And based on these codes is what is going to count for credit. So if you have this blank, even though we get, let's say, whiskeys, we get credit for, if you don't have it in here, it's not going to give you credit. So make sure you select the appropriate codes, and so it could give you credit. So here I have another little tab that you're going to put anything equal to or greater than this number is going to create, is going to give you credit. So if you have this as 0, that means anything with these codes are going to count for credit. But I only want this specific codes, and anything equal to or greater than that, than this number, I'm going to get credit for. So make sure you annotate this correctly on the database so it can give you the appropriate stats. And all you really got to do when you import the data under the re-up or the extension tab is just click import. That's it. Once you click import, all the data is going to get pulled in here from that specific folder, and your stats are going to be created. I'm doing the work for you. One big thing that I'm going to say, which I wrote it in here in the actual database, and I'm writing it also on the PowerPoint. Once you click import and the data is here, and then the following week or the next day you want to put on stats again, please make sure that you clear the data. The data has to be cleared before you click import. If you click import, that means that all this data is going to shift to the right, and then the new data is going to come in here. So when you do that, guess what you just did? You just damaged the database, and you're going to have to delete it and re-download it or re-save it to use the data. I do not know your objective, so you will have to input that. So only based on these 4 circles that are in red, this is the only area that you're going to be able to import or add and input your objective. Anything else is not going to let you because the database is locked. And same here for the reserve component. Now, this 2 stats is for my senior career counselors. So this one is just the battalions. This one is going to be the battalions with the batteries or the companies. So it's 2 different stats. Pretty much they're going to mirror itself, except this is broken down through all the way through the batteries or the companies. This one is just the battalion. So these are for my these 2 stats are for my seniors. This is for my battalion career counselors. And then I'm going to go over it. So you're going to have all this extra stuff in here. All you got to do is click create my stats, and this stuff is going to get deleted, and it's only going to be your unit information, as you can see an example here and in here. And I'll go over the whole in the actual database. And here's just to let you guys know that if there's anything they need me to create something bigger or modify it or custom the database for you, just email me. If you have my phone number, call me, and I can assist you. I will only do this stuff in my house, so I do not do any type of work like this at work because, you know, we're busy doing our normal day-to-day stuff. So I will help you create anything after work when I'm home. And the intent of this database is just to make you have your stats run quicker and have them ready for you when you send them up to your leadership. So now let's go ahead and show you how the actual database is going to work. So you select the dates in here. Based on these dates, once again, is how the database is going to work. If you click somewhere else, it's not going to work because the database is locked. So just make sure you modify those dates based on the day that you actually create the actual database for your stats. So we're going to go ahead and click on UIC and input our UIC. So I have another little quick folder so you can see that I'm starting from scratch. So I'm using my own Brigade UICs, create and paste. So you're going to see a little percentage over here. That means that it is just updating the database as it goes. So now I have the actual database there. So now we're going to go ahead and select our, create our folder. So we're going to go on the little folder icon. We're going to go under the computer for where it says Windows parenthesis Charlie. Click on it. Then we're going to click on users. Double click on public. Double click on public documents. And now here I already have the folder set up, name my ops. Well, how do you start it? You right click, select new folder, and then you're going to name it in capital letters, my ops, just like that. But since we already have one, we're not going to do it. And I'm just showing you as an example. And that's what you do in there. So now you're going to double click them under my ops. So these are the text documents. So I do have other ones in there, as I have other databases that I use, and I will show you on the different videos on how to set it up. So we're going to set up two text documents, which is the extension and the re-up. So how do you do that? You right click, select new, and you're, instead of selecting folder, because we're not creating a new folder, we're creating a text document. You're going to click on text. When you create a new text document, you're going to see .txt. Leave that alone because it's a text document. So where it says new text, all we're going to type is extension, ext, and that's it. Since we already have one, we're not going to do it. And then re-up for the other one. So you're creating two text documents. And that's really it. But since we already had there, we're not going to create it. So we're going to go ahead and delete this part. Okay, so I have the extension, the re-up. So we're going to go on retain, pull your report. Once you click the report, you're going to double click on or click the extension. You click save, and then it's going to ask you if you want to replace it. You select yes for both the extensions and the re-enlistment ad hoc. So let's go ahead and input that data into the actual database. So you're going to go on the re-up. So on the re-up, you see there's no data. So we're going to import the re-enlistment ad hoc that we just pulled from retain. So all you're going to do is select import. And once you select it, you see how quick it was. It's going to tell you right here that data import is complete. So this is your re-enlistment ad hoc. Now we're going to go ahead and import our extensions. So there's no extension data in here. Select import. And now you have the extension information in here. So now we're going to see where the magic happens. So if you see, I have the FY, and this is when the mission started. So 1 April 2019, and it's going to end 30 September 2019. So now we're going to go into my battalion. So before I go in here, so you can see how the magic works, you're going to see here that we have how many different battalions we have. So we have HHB 11th, we have 552, that's 2, 343 is 3, 243 is 4, and then we have 143, which is 5. Okay, so 5 battalions. So now we're going to go under my battalion so I can select my actual battalion. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in here and select, let's say, 243. That's a battalion. Based on that, it's going to tell me what units I have in 243 and what are my accomplishments. Okay, then let's say if I select 343, it's going to tell you the different ones. So if you see how 343 has a THAAD, on the 243, I named it something else, is Alpha 2 battery. All you're going to do in here is input the actual number for the objective. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put some numbers in here. 2, 2, 2, 2, 1. Then say if I do 5, 5, 5, 17, 1, 2. As you do all the changes of the objectives, you're going to see the rank. So based on this information, the FY is going to be itself missioned in the FY20. So based on the aggregates, that's how we're going to rank who's based off, who's number one based on the aggregate. So if you could see here, we got 800. HHP is going to be there. So you just start changing it. So, well, what about if I don't want to see these other blank ones? Well, too easy. All you're going to do is click on create my stats. And once you click on it, it's going to go ahead and delete this information. And you're only going to have your unit information. So now we only have your unit. So here's your battalion. Here's your battery / companies. And it's going to tell you how many you need to accomplish. So, so that's really it. There's really nothing in here that you got to do. So you change the objective and that's it. Now, what happens if I want to print this out and send it out? So I have a little button here. It's called PDF. Just click on it. When you click on it, it's going to tell you where you want to save it as. And it already has a file named stats. You can go ahead and change it and say 243 ADA battalion stats, and it's going to give you a date, which is today's date. I'm going to save it under my desktop. So I'm just going to click save, and it's going to tell you this, the file has been created. So let's go check it out how it looks. So I go under here where this is the PDF file, and I open it, and boom, it's going to show you in a PDF file your stats. And that's it. That's all you have to do. So I'm trying to make it as user-friendly so you don't have to create anything for it. Let's go ahead and let's say you have a new battery or a new company. So all you're going to have to do is click reset, and it's going to reset, and then based on the UIC, it's going to input the new one and just create the stats, and that's really it. So now for my seniors, my senior career counselors, you're going to have two different tabs. It's going to be called battalions and brigade. So let's go to brigade. Brigade is the same thing as the battalion one, except you're not selecting the battalion because I already gave you the battalions in here. The database is doing it for you. Here's the name of the brigade based on your UIC, the UIC table that you gave me, and here's the battalions. So all you're going to have to do is input the information. So let's go and let's mark them all 100. 1, and then let's do 31, 45, 33, 25, and let's say you overproduced and you did 8. So once again, or you didn't overproduce, let's do your accomplishment was 2. So once again, based off the objectives, it's going to give you the aggregate. So obviously this one is higher than all of them. This is going to be number 1. So based on this information I'm showing you, and you're going to do everything, all the objectives, it's going to rank you which battalion is number 1. If you want me to create your stats, all you got to do is create my stats, and then there it is. Same thing, you click on PDF, and it saves the PDF file. Now the brigade for my seniors, I have a little extra things on it. I have this thing called the bonus total. Based off the stats, or correction, the data from the re-up, you know how I told you that you need to select certain information. In there is going to tell you how much your brigade has paid on bonuses. So you could see that based on this data that I have as an example, it's telling you how much we have paid. It's going to tell you how many days are left in the accomplishments, and yep, that's it. It gives you the glide path. So let's say if I change the glide path and I'm doing it based off 1 October 18, pretty much is going to match the FY, right? So I go down the brigade. So now it changed to that glide path. So like I said, it's pretty easy. I'm doing majority of the work. The database is doing it. So all you really have to do is click one button and that's it. Now, the last one, my battalions. So you can see here you have 143, 243, 343, 552, and the brigade, and all these ones are blank, right? So you're like, well, I don't want all these extra stuff. I just want my unit information. All you have to do is click on create my stats, and everything else has been deleted. So now you can see that you have your unit information. Once again, all you have to do is input the objective. So I just made up some numbers in here. And then at the bottom is going to tell you how many you need to accomplish and what's your glide path. And that's it. So now you want to create this in the PDF file. Same thing, just click on the PDF. I'm going to say for this purposes, I'm going to create, and then now it says Brigade Battalion Stats. So I'm going to name it 11th BDE Brigade Battalion Stats. It's on the desktop. Save it. Click OK. Now let's go see how it looks on the PDF, and boom, all nice and pretty for you. And I will for sure fix this information so you can see it's not going to look like that. It's going to be all on one page. And that's really it. When it's time for you to go ahead and update your data, all you have to do is clear it. It's going to tell you the data is clear. Clear. And now if I go to my battalion, you're going to see that there's no data. So it's all zero because I pretty much deleted the data. So make sure you do that every single time, and you're going to see that the database is automatically going to update. That's really it. Once again, if you have any questions how to use it, just let me know. If you need me to modify anything, also let me know, and I can do it for you for the battalion counselors in the brigade. And enjoy.